All right. Also, now let's go back to the actual song. For instance, how did you even come to recording this Vic Chesnutt gem? I know you guys know each other, obviously, the whole Georgia vibe connection. Give us an insight to JB, like how you first decided to record the track.
That's an easy one because there's only one answer. Our producer John Keane, he swiveled around in his chair and said, "Hey, there's a Vic tune that he didn't put on his last album that I'd really like to see what happens if you guys apply yourselves, if you attack it." And as your regular story from there, we did the tune, we dug it. We probably sat on it for about a year before album time came around. And when Vic was in the studio just visiting, we said, "Hey, come on and sing on. You might as well come and sing on your own song," and that's why. So here it is today, and it was a good track. It came out pretty well.
You know, Keane brings it to you, but Dave, give us a little insight to like, what do you think when you first heard the track? You know, what was so special about it?
It's got that Vic thing, that sort of bitter irony with it leaves you feeling happy. Even though the images in the song may be a little depressing, a little ironic, there's always sort of a sheen of beauty to everything that he writes. And it's just got a spooky, moody, swampy feel. It's the way we like it. And Athens is a tight-knit kind of music scene. It's a small town, and folks who've lived there for a while know each other. And there was a lot of mutual respect between Vic and us, and thanks to our friend Gomer and Scott Stuckey, we were able to meet, relax together, and make a record.
Now, what about, that's about Vic. Let's talk about Billy Bob. This is obviously not the first time you've worked with Mr. Billy Bob Thornton.
The first time we met Billy Bob, he showed up in an ankle-length duster.
Oh, that's right.
Scared the bejesus out of all of us.
And little pony boots.
Yep. Little pony boots with little spurs, and they're like, "This guy's going to do a video about us."
But he had a good attitude.
Great attitude, won us over immediately, and you know, we got the Southern thing happening. And
now, I'm obviously hip to what he did, but you know, there's a lot of people out there that have no idea that he actually, this was like 6 years ago, produced your long form.
Right.
Can you explain what I'm talking about?
Well, actually, we were very lucky. It was because we were extremely naive at that time because we'd never done a video before. And we were very lucky to hit with Billy Bob because he's not, he's not afraid, back to the art form, to go and try to capture on film some things that are worth looking at. I've been trying to get back with Billy Bob, luckily, for way before he got famous. And so, and now there were a couple days open in his busy schedule, and this is more. I think we were just happy to see each other again, and this gave us a good excuse to do it.
And now we know we're going to have some fun making a music video, which puts our minds at ease.
So anyway, before the wind blew, I was just explaining the fact that even though you really haven't made that many videos in a decade, the fact that you still have that fan base.
Right. They we have about 130 songs, 5 albums worth, songs we've been playing for a long time that aren't on records, songs we like to play by folks who we like, like Vic Chesnutt or our friends in Bloodkin, and it makes it so we can do 3 or 4 shows. We don't play the same show every night. We don't have a bunch of computer cued lights and things, and we do have a great light show, but they ride with us. The guys who run the lights and the sound are interacting the same way we are.
Yeah, they got to be on their toes too.
Exactly. We interact with each other differently every night, as we do with the audience. It's kind of like watching a tennis match with the energy that passed back and forth from the band to the audience. It's special. On nights when it's happening, it's crackling, it's magic. Other nights it's a train wreck, or the Titanic going down slowly. But it's always different, and that's, I think, the key.
On the touring aspect, obviously you're known as a touring band. Give us a little insight what you get from playing live. Maybe what the people get, the feeding off back and forth.
I get swollen ankles. What do you get? Blisters?
Well, I know it's. Boy, it's such a habit. I mean, it is what we do now. There's a lot of it I take for granted, but there's certain points you reach in the musical communication that are uplifting, you know, kind of spiritual, and that's you know, don't want to go too far because it's not. I'm not that corny,
Right.
but it's one of the heaviest things that I'm a part of. So, you know, and getting to do that night after night and not wake up till 12 noon if you don't
Exactly.
have to. That's all pretty heavy. I think we're in the 1 percentile in that.
Right. My mom used to always go, "How are you ever going to find a job where you can sleep till noon and stay up all night and play that guitar?" And thanks for the support, Mom.
I think she just described the career.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
Thank you.
Last question. First decade was a nice ride. Give us a little insight to what's, say insight one more time, but tell us about the next decade for Widespread Panic.
You know how the roller coaster goes kick, 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 real slowly as you head towards the top? We're just rounding the crest of the top, you know. I mean, it's been a big build-up, and we're ready for a wild ride, I guess.
You know, we didn't even talk about Laura Dern in your video.
Well, that's
Surprise. Total surprise. Happy.
and it's pretty neat. We've been watching her doing some stuff. She's actually it's perfect in our the little book of lies. You know, the
Itinerary
itinerary
schedule.
they gave to us. We were listed as band, and she's listed as talent, and I think that pretty much sums it up.
Looking back, do you remember maybe, since you might not remember writing it, but give us a little insight to now listening to the track and what Widespread has done with it and you?
I think it's really beautiful and melancholy the way they did it. I'm so happy the way it turned out, because I was going to record it for one of my records, but it didn't turn out very good. So I kind of, forgot about it. And then next thing I knew, they played it for me, all finished and everything, and I couldn't believe it. It was it's so dense too, and got a lot of colors in it, which I love colors.
Now, you go way back with, how far back do you go with Widespread Panic?
Well, I mean, the first time I really met them was when we started recording Brute, the record Brute. I'd seen them play a million times. They played every Monday at the Uptown, and I played every Tuesday at the 40 Watt years ago when we first started. And so, I see them every now and then on those Monday nights. And, and I'd never really met them until I heard that, we're going to get together, and so I just kind of met them then.
Can you explain to the world, because, a lot of people are starting to know about Widespread. It's taken a while, but a lot of people are starting to know about them. What do you think? How do you think the band's music is? How do you describe it?
Well, I always thought they were a kick-ass band. Just the kicking ass band, And the sweeties. The sweetest of the sweeties.
Now, you've also obviously worked with Billy Bob. That much we know. When was the first time you met Billy Bob?
Well, let's see. I met him when I came down to shoot Sling Blade, and I remember I called him on the phone when he asked me to be in the movie, and he told me to call him. So I called him, but I was too scared to call him Billy Bob on the phone. So somebody answered, and I said, "Can I speak to Shilly Shab?" Because I was a nervous wreck, and so I made a excellent first impression, I must probably, on him.
I mean, what do you think about this video getting played on some of the video channels? I mean, think it could happen?
I don't know. It's a screwy world out there in the video world. You never know what's going to click and what ain't going to click. I think, they'd be crazy if they didn't play this song on there, because I know it's going to be a beautiful video, because Billy Bob and all these other folks are in it. And with me for that added sex appeal, it's gotta fly, this video.
Vic, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We really do. What did you think of the first time when you heard Aunt Avis? The first time you heard the track?
Well, the first time I heard the song was a while back when it first came out, when I first got the CD. I get them early, you know. Pays to know the guys, you know. But it was spooky to me. Spooky song. Very swampy, you know. And it haunted me. All their music haunts me, though. Yeah.
What about what about let's talk about the fact that you're directing this video. How did this come about? I mean, again, we know this isn't the first time you work with them, but how about this video specifically? How did you come to direct this one?
Phil Walden, who's the head of Capricorn Records. I've known Phil for years and years, and I had directed a documentary, like a 36-minute documentary on widespread panic back in '91 or something like that. And it's the first thing I ever directed. It was the first thing they were ever in. So we cut our teeth together in that sense. And Phil just called and said, "Hey, we got to do a video on these guys. We really want you to do it." And he didn't know. He probably thought he thought I wouldn't do it, really, because he figured, you know, with the movie business kind of booming right now, he figured I wouldn't do it. But God, I jumped at it.
Yeah, can you hip America to widespread panic in music? Because a lot of people don't know about it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's a band that everybody needs to know. They're just keeping they're keeping real American rock music alive. A band like this, they're just they're hypnotic. And if you want to, you know, go home after a hard day's work, just sit down and put the headphones on. That's the kind of band you want to listen to. They're fantastic musicians. They're great guys. They're very different than the rest of them out there right now. And I think they're sort of keeping. Well, they're sort of like the last little fortress of it's kind of southern rock music. I mean, not maybe like, it's not like Leonard Skinner or something. You know, it's the Allman Brothers, you know, and you know, they get compared to the Grateful Dead a lot. I tend to think it's more like the Allman Brothers.
You reckon Carl would like this video?
I reckon he would. Yeah, he'd look at it anyway, just out of curiosity.
So far, so good. It doesn't hurt.
Well, it has been a pleasure doing this, and we're very glad to be here, and we look forward to a winning season.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad that's the song we're doing. It's got a real spooky quality to it, you know. It's kind of spooky, and I like spooks. It's just the way I am. Yeah, I like spirits, ghost cars going across bridges with no rails, things like that. So that's kind of the deal here. It's a you might call it, if you're in the film business, a Southern Gothic, you know, kind of feel. It's beautiful.